Well, today we're out catfishing again, and we are on the same lake we were in our last video. The difference is now we are dealing with an extreme cold front. The high today is only 39 degrees. Luckily, the wind's not going to be blowing. As you can see, it's pretty calm out here, so it won't be too bad for us. But key today, we think, will probably be small bait. Last time we were out, we were using small pieces, but not nearly this small, so hopefully we can find some fish again.
Well, we've been sitting here a little while and just talking about moving. We've had some bites, several bites, but nothing that would hook up. And got a little bitty one that decided he was going to take the bait. But for all the hits we had, this is it. The water is cold. I mean, look at the mud on that thing. I mean, they're just buried down in the bottom and not doing much moving, and it's obvious even when they get the poles, they just barely move and aren't. There's not much action, but we'll find some more fish.
Finally got hooked up on another one, and there it comes off. That is what we are dealing with. That's why I said extreme cold front at the beginning of this video. These fish are just barely grabbing a hold of it. Realistically, we've probably had 14 or 15 fish now that take the rod down, reel into them, you feel weight, and they just come off. You get it in, and they're just chewing on the bait. We're to the point where we're almost thinking about going down to smaller hooks. And these are 6/0, and we never go smaller than that. So we'll give these a shot for a little while longer, maybe try a little bit smaller baits, but it's just a really tough bite, and that's part of the cold front. Well, let's see if I can get my first one in today. We moved spots and had 3 poles get hit real quick. Couldn't get them in. Hoping this one's got the hook in him decent. It's crazy how the temperature makes these fish take the baits different. Well, I'm happy to finally land a fish. Look at that, that hook's not barely in its mouth. It caught just a little bit of the skin right there. That's just how much they're short biting them. But like the one Jason caught, pinned down in the mud, and we will move maybe 50 yards and we'll get 3 or 4 bites. Of course, we're not getting them in the boat, but that just shows how these fish really aren't moving. You just got to throw baits right on top of them.
We've been sitting there watching this rod just go dig, 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 and I never thought we'd get him hooked up, and I picked it up, and he made just enough of a pole that I yanked on it and it got the hook set. But I have no idea how shallow it is. I mean, he was just barely touching it when I yanked it. It could be stuck through a whisker, it might be stuck through the edge of his lip, but I cannot imagine it being stuck well. He does not want to come to the surface. Out of the water and probably won't get him in the boat. Foul hooked him. Good, coming off though. Fish number 3 for the day. They're all small, and it's been a slow bite, but it's worth doing. Just switch spots again. threw a line out, tried to go a little deeper. We haven't been here 2 minutes and had one actually hit. It wasn't a short bite. He grabbed a hold of the bait and ran. It's kind of nice to see. Buddy. So if we got him right in the corner of the mouth like we should. The other one's muddied up. Look at the belly on him. He's full. He's been eating good the last couple weeks, but we get him back in and try some more.
Still have lots and lots of hits. Finally got one to hook up here. He was just pecking at it and I had to reel into him. But we've moved a couple more times since we had a fish. If we were smart, we would probably take off these hooks, like I said before, go really small baits, but we don't feel like changing anything. And it appears that the big fish aren't hitting, so we're not losing out on much, so we'll just keep working with what we got here. This is the first one we've seen today that's, well, I guess Jason had one that really got it in there good and had a solid hook set. Just this cold front fishing really got these fish hitting funny. I don't know if I can get that hook out. Decent little channel cat. Back-to-back fish. Doesn't feel very big, but we hooked up a couple pretty quick. The sun's not shining today, so the water temperature's really not warming. I don't know if we just hit a good spot here, found a few more. We're just lucky and actually get them hooked up for once. But that one's got a good mouthful of hook again, so maybe the ones that are cruising around will just start getting a little more active. This fish isn't really, it's got a little mud on it, but it's not plastered like the other ones have been, so I'd say this guy was out cruising around a little bit. Just switched spots and didn't take long at all. Had another pole go down, didn't hook up, and this one went down right after it. It actually hit it. We fished a relatively small stretch of the lake today, but we've done a lot of moving. Trying to keep him out of Jason's line.
Good.
Big fish so far today. He is not hooked very well at all.
You want that right behind you. Reach down between them poles.
Let's see if I can grab him with the fish grip. We lose him. Not hooked very good at all. There's a nice fish. That'll bring the spirits up when you've been having a slower day out here.
Show him that hook set, Heath.
Barely. Just barely in that lip. That's why I didn't want to try to pick him up by the line. That wouldn't have held on. But nice channel cat right there. Not nearly as big as the ones we caught last time, but normal spring thing. Belly's all covered up. It's a really nice looking fish. Didn't want to let go of it. Same spot, same rod. I sound like a broken record, but we've gotten a spot here where we're getting a ton of bites and just not hooking up. So we're just gonna stay here for a while and see if we can get some more of these fish in. That fish is all kinds of covered in mud. It's pretty typical in the spring, even during a cold front like this, that we start catching a few more fish in the afternoon. We always think it's because the water just warms up a little bit. I know you're only looking at surface temperature, but that's got an effect down below too, and they always seem to bite better in the afternoon. So hopefully we can catch a few more out of this spot.
Oh, we hooked up. It's been a little bit since we caught the last fish, but we've been watching some poles get short bites and bouncing. I finally had one decide he's going to take it. Another one whose belly's just full, ready to pop. But Heath said it earlier, just didn't say it on camera. These fish are so cold, it feels like they came out of a freezer. I mean, they'll cramp your hands up just holding them right now. So at 40 degrees on the water temperature on the surface, I have no idea what it is down low, but it's chilly. Picked up another little one with the same rod. We pulled up here and Heath was getting all the action on his side of the boat, and in the last 10 minutes it switched over here. Probably only been 3 or 4 minutes between fish. But we're sitting right on a break line, and my side of the boat's a lot shallower than what his is. And they might be coming up in the warmth and feeding a little bit. Barely had him.
First time we've fished this spot in the lake. It's actually where a little bit of current whips around, and there's some fish holding in here too, which is a little bit surprising. A cold front like this, usually these channel cats try to get out of that current. We aren't finding any big fish today. I told Jason earlier, if we liked eating catfish, today would have been the day for it. This is probably still a little bit bigger than I'd want to keep, but just no big ones today. We're having fun and catching fish. Been a good spot so far. It's a little bit of time between each fish, but hey, when you're catching fish, you definitely don't want to move. Not a bad fish. Probably about that average size we've been catching today, maybe just a little bit bigger. He's got that hook buried. Just fun to see how different times of day, how the fish hit different. May have to find pliers for this fish. I think they might be behind you. They are. He's a long fish. Doesn't have a lot of weight or thickness to him, but got some length. There's another one. Doesn't feel very big, but the afternoon bite has definitely been better than earlier in the day. Another little channel cat, and something I didn't say earlier in the video. We showed you the pieces of cut bait we were using, how we were going to go a little bit smaller. Didn't tell you that we're using shad again. Frozen shad had been caught earlier in the winter, so that is what we were using. This fish got hooked up well right in the corner of the mouth. That's what a circle hook's supposed to do. But there you go, look at all that mud on his belly. They're just planted down to the bottom, mud on the side. But I think that's going to be our last fish of the day. We're going to call her quits. The sun starts going down, it's going to get really cold. We didn't catch nearly as many fish as last time out, but it's fun as always, and we knew the bite would be slower. That's part of fishing and extreme cold front like this. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. We're going to put out a lot more videos this summer. Hopefully we can get on some big catfish. We've got some good trips planned, so thanks for watching.